Hello, everyone, and happy belated Mother's Day to all of the moms. We are thrilled that you are joining us with tonight's virtual wine tasting event with our friends at Peninsula Winery. You see a lot of faces right now here on the screen, so we've got a lot of introductions to make. I want to thank my bartender and husband, Eric, for joining us again for a virtual wine tasting event. Yeah, round of applause.
Oh,
Nice.
boy, Eric.
MVP.
I'm back.
MVP.
We have Beth and Rob from the winery up there in Peninsula, Door County. Hi, Beth and Rob. Thanks for joining us from your beautiful winery.
Hi.
Always. Hello. We're happy to be here. Happy to be back.
And we have your moms. Do you want to introduce the moms?
Absolutely. So we somehow convinced our mothers to join us for this Mother's Day tasting. So we have my mother, Jennifer. Wave. Say hi.
Hello, that's me.
And we have my mother, Connie.
Hi.
That's the other one.
And then we have to mention the co-host of the event. So I want to get all of this correct because he's done a lot of incredible things. An all-pro fullback, spent 9 seasons with the Green Bay Packers and won a Super Bowl, which we all remember. He hosts the 9 to Noon with Kuhn show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. He's a dad, a husband, and he calls Wisconsin home. Please welcome John Kuhn.
Okay. Enough about me. Hey, thanks for the introduction, but I'm excited to try some wine. Listen, Elizabeth, we talked a little bit before we came on. Not dissimilar to a lot of people in Wisconsin. We both experienced some weather troubles with our homes. I've been up in Door County all week long working at trying to clean up from the storms that we had in March and April. I can think of no better way than to make that go away with a couple sips of wine here tonight.
Absolutely. And we have 5 wines that we're going to be trying tonight. So for everybody watching, we want you to comment, ask questions, be involved in the virtual wine tasting event. John is an open book. He'll answer any questions. If you want to talk about his time in the NFL, life after the NFL, why did he decide to stay in Wisconsin? We love that you stayed in Wisconsin, John, by the way. We love that.
Thank you.
Make sure you leave your comments if you're watching us on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, and we'll get to those comments, as many as we can, throughout the wine event. Now, for those of you that did buy the virtual wine tasting kits, we've got an order of the wines, and this time we have chocolate. Beth and Rob, this is fantastic. What made you decide to pair all these different types of chocolates with the wines tonight?
So we do pairings like this at the winery on and off all the time. They're usually just, you come to the winery and we offer a certain pairing at the time. You can get a flight with a few bars. And we've been working with Stead Chocolate out of Minnesota for a while now, who made all of these mini bars for us. And when we were talking about doing this event and specifically trying to gear it towards Mother's Day and, bring as many mothers on board, we're like, you know what? We got to do chocolate. So we got all of these mini bars from Stead. We worked really hard on the pairings, and it's the first time we've done a virtual tasting with a pairing. So it's the first time we actually get to snack while we're doing these pairings together.
Well, we love it. We love that we're snacking with chocolate and we're snacking with, wine as well. This is a great night. Want to mention the people that are saying hello today. We've got Sally that's on. Barb said we're so excited to be joining from Louisville, Minnesota. So maybe they know this chocolate that we have tonight. And for those of you that maybe are just watching us because you're scrolling through social media, Beth and Rob, can people still buy these virtual wine tasting kits and maybe watch this back and sip along?
Yep, definitely. So they're online, dcwine.com. You'll find the kits right there. This will be live and recorded on our YouTube and our Facebook page as well after the fact. So.
Excellent. Okay, so the first wine we're going to start with is the Radiance. This is a Radiance wine that is best served chilled. And now the chocolate, it's the honey lavender milk chocolate. Do you recommend when you do pairings, should you take a sip and then have the chocolate? Does it matter the order? Take the chocolate first? What do you recommend?
So for this tasting, we're all going to take a sip of the wine together so you can get a sense of the flavors in the wine itself. Then we're going to eat a little chocolate square and then try to take a sip of the wine while the chocolate is still in your mouth on that palate, because the point of this pairing is to get how the flavors of the chocolate bar and the flavors of the wine marry together and can change each other. So for this one, we're doing Radiance. Well, Radiance is a sparkling, semi-dry to dry wine. We make it exclusively from grapes from our vineyard. So it has changed a few times, but it's always something we've grown. This one, this vintage is 100% Saint Pepin. So that is
With
a grape.
100%, what did you say?
Saint Pepin is the name of the grape.
Ooh, okay.
So,
Cold climate hybrid grape that we can grow up here in our wonderful Wisconsin weather, as we were just talking about. We actually also make an ice wine out of it too. So it's a very
Ice wine.
Yep, it's a very versatile grape.
yeah. A lot of the grapes
Fantastic.
we can grow up here are those hybrid grapes because they are more temperature tolerant. They tend to have a high acid content, which means they survive our winters, really, in truth. So you always are getting kind of those high acid wines if they're grown in a vineyard in Wisconsin.
That really makes a lot of sense when you talk about what the climate is up there and how it is just the perfect temperature for these types of wines.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Well, and I noticed that Eric grabbed, these are the flutes from our wedding.
We're celebrating.
Hey.
Wine Wednesday, why not?
So these are the really nice ones that we're going to wash by hand later. Okay, everybody, we want to say hi to Nancy Wolf from Plainfield, Illinois. Thanks for joining us. This
Hi,
is what's so
Nancy.
fun about these virtual events, right, John? We're all over the country. People are watching from everywhere.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Everybody wants to be a part of it. Obviously, this is Eric's highlight every quarter when he gets to, take part, and he works his tail off to do it. My wife is excited to join some wine and have fun with us here tonight too. So everybody, let's enjoy.
This is great. Okay, so let's have a little sip, and then we're gonna have the chocolate.
So I got a question real quick because it's obviously with the bubbles. You don't swirl something like this, right? That
So
feels
you
like,
can to get aromatics, but you don't want to violently swirl it because you will make it go flat. So you can just lightly swirl if you want to get that nose. But really what we want to do is just take a sip or two of the Radiance, get a sense of those flavors. Like I said, there's a lot of acid, there's a lot of citrus going on. So get those flavors in your palate, see what you think about the wine, and then reach for your chocolate.
This is going to be such a fun pairing. This is the honey lavender.
Yes, so we are doing the honey lavender mini bar. So this is, Stead does what they call a 50-50, so it's 50% dark chocolate, 50% milk. You take your chocolate, chew it, and then sip a little bit more wine.
Okay, so now I taste more of the floral.
Mm-hmm.
Moms, what are you tasting with this wine?
Not sure yet.
I want to mention the moms earlier, Connie, in the white cardigan asked a great question. She's like, how much are we supposed to drink?
all of it.
I like the wine.
You can taste the lavender a lot when you take it together.
Definitely. And besides
Is the
chocolate,
lavender coming out of the chocolate more, or is that
So
what it's coming out of?
The lavender is in the chocolate.
Okay.
When you take the two together, you're getting the acidity of the wine and the creaminess of the chocolate are slowly canceling each other out. Because
Okay.
you're noticing that acid level is going down, and then the floral notes in the wine and in the chocolate become higher and more prevalent.
Yeah, the chocolate really made the wine taste different, like
It did.
remarkably different.
yeah, for sure. This is good. Now, what would you pair this with?
Chocolate.
That too, chocolate. But what would you suggest if somebody had this? I mean, the sparkliness makes me think special occasion.
Right, it's definitely more of, we sell a lot New Year's, special occasion, weddings, etc. You got the wedding glasses there. But it will hold up because it's drier. So if you want to do a chicken dish or fish, it can work up well with that.
High acid wines also work with creamy. So like an Alfredo or some
Chicken
kind of
Alfredo,
pasta.
I think, is one of my favorites.
And sparkling actually pairs easier with a lot of different foods. So, that's why beer or hard ciders go with almost anything.
Chicken Alfredo pizza.
Chicken Alfredo pizza you could do with this
Perfect.
wine.
Excellent, excellent. And I know we've got some people that are kind of just scrolling through social right now that are joining us here on this virtual wine tasting event. We're with our friends from Peninsula Winery. It's a Mother's Day wine tasting event. We have the moms here. We've got John Kuhn, Packer legend, which Brooke had to mention. Kuhn here in the comments.
Thanks,
John,
Brooke.
let's talk about you and your connection with Wisconsin. You were with the Packers for 9 years. You have decided to stay. You're raising your kids here. You've got a vacation home in Door County. So why Wisconsin? You could have been anywhere in the world.
Well, it's the funnest place to be, being a former Packer player, number one. It's very easy to relate with everybody, being here for 10 years as a player. But over those 10 years, you get a lot of your teammates that end up leaving over time. So guys that you came in with, they're either older and they leave, or unfortunately they get released or traded or sign with another team. So after 4 or 5 years, we started making friends within the community, and that became our tight knit group. And as we had kids and our kids were going to school, and then our friends were our kids' friends' parents, it just became a natural place to be. And obviously we love the summers. We love being up in Door County. We have a cottage up there that we spend many, many days, many weeks in over the summer, drive right past the winery on our way up there. So there's so many great reasons to live in Wisconsin. And I wouldn't have known it. I wouldn't have been introduced to it without the Packers. So for that, we're grateful.
Yeah, well, we're grateful you were on the team as well. You did a lot of great things for the team. And you mentioning the winery, there's a lot of people that are joining us right now. We already saw from Illinois, Minnesota, all over Wisconsin. Make sure you put it on your calendar to get to the winery there at Door Peninsula Winery, because where Beth and Rob are right now, Beth and Rob are in the big winery where they have the wine tasting area. How many wines can people try there? And the tastings are free.
So tastings are free. We try to limit it to 5 samples during a tasting, but we make 75 wines currently. So there's a lot to see and do. We definitely recommend more than one visit if you're going to try all of them. But there's a lot of variety. There's a little bit of something for everyone, and we just really enjoy showing people what we do here.
Well, and speaking of the variety of wines, this is just wine number 1. This is the Radiance. We're going to be trying the Peninsula Red here next. How do you pick the order of the wines when we do a wine tasting event like this?
So traditionally, you would go dry to sweet, especially for our wines, because our sweeter wines tend to have bolder fruit flavors. And you would go from red to white. Now, obviously, that's not what we're doing. We just started with a white. So when we do these, we not only look at the flavor profiles of the wines, but we look at what they do to each other. So we literally will sit down with an idea of how we think the order is going to go, but then we'll try them back to back and see if, much like pairing, if any of the flavors from one wine to the next cancel each other out in a negative way. And then that's how we set our order.
There's a lot of practice involved.
There's a lot of sampling that goes into these tasting events. But so the order we picked had to do more with how one wine affected the next. So if you were to just sip one and immediately sip the next, you weren't going to get any negative melding of the 2 flavors between the 2 wines.
What a fun job, don't you think, John, moms? What a fun job.
I think so.
Now, if anyone has any questions about the Radiance, now would be the time to put it in the chat there if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook, X, wherever you have us on right now. Before we move on to the next wine, I want to make sure we can get any questions that are out there. But that was a really good wine. It was light. It was really light. I liked the bubbles.
Yeah, and I just, before we move on, and while anyone might be asking a question, on the label of the Radiance, it says Wisconsin Ledge AVA. So an AVA is American Viticultural Area. So that is a specific grape growing region that has shared characteristics. Like Napa Valley is an AVA.
Yep.
Our local one here is the Wisconsin Ledge AVA. So if you see that on a wine label, that means it was grown in our region up here in Door County, down into Kewanee, Brown, along the coastline.
Yeah, right about the Sheboygan area.
Well, and when you mention Napa, talking with anyone that maybe isn't familiar with Wisconsin or the peninsula there at Door County, you really feel like it almost feels like you're somewhere like the Cape, just with the water that surrounds the whole peninsula. It's beautiful. It's wine country. You can see all the apple trees and the cherry trees. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I mean, John, you bought property up there.
Yeah, and it not just aesthetically pleasing, but you come up here in the summertime and just the fun stuff they have going on with the supper clubs and the restaurants, and every town has a festival. It feels like every other weekend. So there's always plenty to do. There's always plenty of reasons to come up to Door County. And obviously when you make your way up, you stop here at the winery first and stop in. And honestly, I've been to Napa, I've been to Sonoma, I've been to Tuscany. Most of those wineries you need to make an appointment for. You need to set it ahead of time. Not here. You just roll right in there and you can enjoy your 5 wines on your time.
That's so true. And now the outdoor space too that you have there at Door Peninsula Winery. I mean, I imagine with the weather getting better, that's going to be just packed with fun events. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yep,
we are.
a week and a half out.
Yeah, we may soft open this weekend, no promises, but by Memorial Day weekend, that will be open. We'll have live music every Friday. Some other days, we've got a bunch of fun events coming up, different festivals, as John mentioned, like Carlsville Day, which is our own little community here by the winery. So we're gonna have a lot going on this summer.
It's going to be a great time, and you can't miss the winery. It's the old schoolhouse that's right there off the highway. It's just such an easy stop. And like John said, you don't need an appointment to try all those wines, which is great. All right, next one. Let's move on here, everybody. You can cleanse with a cracker, maybe drink some water. I'm going to have a little cracker here. We've got the Peninsula Red, which, speaking of Door Peninsula, what a beautiful bottle to have, because you can see Carlsville, Egg Harbor, all the little towns on the peninsula. Who comes up with these labels, Beth?
It's a combo. It depends on what we're doing. So this one we've had for years. Peninsula Red has been a staple in our portfolio for a long time. We did revamp the label a few years ago. It used to be a small peninsula, and then we're like, let's just make it the whole bottle. Mm-hmm. So Rob and I tend to do a lot. If we're not personally doing the designs, we at least control the design. So it's flowing through one of our offices for sure.
Do you guys have a favorite design?
We might have to wait till Halloween time.
My favorite design is Halloween.
Get hers.
Okay.
We have 2 of my labels in this tasting that we're getting to. This one I had a hand in revamping, right, but the original design wasn't me.
Well, and when you talk about your Halloween wines, the holiday wines, those labels, they're just so festive and fun. They make for great housewarming gifts. If you're going to a Halloween party at somebody's house, we have a couple of those bottles we just put up throughout for decoration when we put all our Halloween decorations up, because they're that fantastic.
We drink them as fast as we can, and we put them up for decoration.
Okay, so glasses for a red. Should you have a bigger bowl?
So if you have a bigger bowl for a red, that's going to help with the aromatics in the nose. It's also going to help with the swirl, which is for the same thing, that's to aerate. So it gets more oxygen on it. Yeah. But if you don't have that, you just need to kind of get in there and make sure you can get a good smell of those aromatics, because a lot of tasting is your sense of smell.
So John, Allie is asking, she said, I'm going to need John Kuhn to tell us his favorite Door Peninsula wine. Do you have one?
Okay,
yet, John?
well, let me just say, I have many questions about the Radiance, because that was delicious. I mean, I'd put that up there with a lot of different champagnes that I've had over the years. That's a very delicious cold wine that I can see drinking in the summertime. But Rob and Beth, please remind me the full name of the mimosa that we had, the mimosa wine that we had the last time.
Is that the cherry mimosa? Cherry mimosa.
Yes, that was absolutely fantastic. That to me was one, and I remember leaving with a bottle after that night, after that tasting, and it didn't last very long in this house. That I can tell you.
That is a good one.
That was very Door County, the apple and cherries.
Yeah,
that's a great
one.
We have 2 bottles of it right over there. Not even you. We have that on the regular. So let's talk with the moms here, Jennifer and Connie. So with your 2 kids working at Door Peninsula Winery, are you getting wine all the time and all of your gifts for Mother's Day, birthday, Christmas?
well, I know I can have a constant supply. I just need to call them up and say, hey, I need this wine at my house, and they'll buy it for me and bring it down.
That's a great option, isn't it?
Yes, it's very nice.
All right, so the chocolate to pair with this wine is the Cherry Nibbler milk chocolate. These are just the cutest little mini candy bars, Beth, that you picked
Yeah.
out for this wine tasting that you sell at the winery. They're so cute. Also, speaking of the winery, this lovely little frosted glass with the gold is from Door Peninsula Winery.
Oh,
You go into their
nice.
gift shop, you're going to always get something unique, gifts for yourself, gifts for other people, lots to choose from.
So this Peninsula Red is a blend of Cabernet Merlot and cherry wine. It is 60% red wine and then 40% cherry. So it does have that red grape dominance. If you take a sip of that, obviously you're going to taste those Merlot, Cabernet flavors. The fruit's going to be there, but the dominating flavor is going to be that red grape.
That's what I taste. John, what do you taste? I taste the red grape.
I definitely taste the grape. That's for sure. There's something a little bit lighter in this one too that I can like a light fruit. I don't know if it's like a raspberry or a strawberry, but it's something a little bit, something just a little bit different.
Cherry. I feel like there's a tartness of.
Yep. There's definitely that Montmorency cherry in it.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
comes out.
This pairs so well with the chocolate.
Yep.
This is spot
I
on.
thought you were gonna eat both pieces.
I was going to eat both
She
pieces,
will.
but I felt like I should share with my husband. You
She saw me at the last second.
Yeah.
Eric, for the record, there's 3 pieces there. So if there's only 2 left, you missed out.
Yeah, no, I definitely will be missing out the rest of the night on the chocolate. It'll be 1 for me, 3 for her.
Don't you feel that people are either like sweet or savory? Eric is chips, salsa, guac, taco salad. I am just sweet, sweet, sweets, all the sweets. What about you guys?
I have a question.
Same here. We got sweets with my wife. I'm savory, but it kind of feels like we don't equal each other out. We just add to each other's vices.
This red, when you go out with friends and they're either like all about red wine or all about white wine. I feel like this is a good crossover that would make both palates happy.
It's a good middle ground just because it is semi-dry, so it's not real heavy. So if you don't like a real dry red wine, you can still drink this one.
Yeah, I don't like reds much, and I really like this one.
Yes, and I feel like it's a taste of Door County, which is why the name is so perfect to be called the Peninsula Red.
Yeah, we also serve it on this one in our Peninsula White. We have the Door County wine trolley comes to us. We always make the joke, well, if you get lost in Door County or drink too much wine, you have a little map here. You can find your way back.
That's smart.
Throw that out there.
Okay, so Nancy is commenting here that they visit Door Peninsula Winery almost every year. Cheers to you, Nancy. Going to be adding these to our list when we visit next month.
Yay.
Excellent. Love to
We'll be
hear it.
here. Yeah. So the pairing with these, the reason we chose the cherry bar is the chocolate also has tannin, which is prevalent in all wine, but especially red wine. And that kind of that, when you talk about dry, that's one of those flavors that you're getting from the tannins in the wine. That kind of makes your mouth feel dry. So the tannins in the chocolate and the tannins in the red wine are once again doing kind of a cancel. So they're hitting each other and they're muting those flavors, and then you're getting cherry in the bar and cherry in the wine elevated. So you're getting kind of a double cherry.
There you go.
Which we actually thought that the cherry might cancel the cherry and not work at all.
The cherry might cancel the cherry in the chocolate, and you're saying the cherry in the wine.
In the wine.
So when you're doing a pairing of anything, the flavors can either cancel each other out and mute, or they can enhance each other. So usually when you have 2 flavors in 2 very similar items, you would expect a cancel. But when we tried these 2 together, we just got double cherry, which was fun.
It's really good. I think I already.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric.
John called it.
It's just too good. It's just too good. Okay,
Hey guys,
so moms.
does the flavor change much in this as it sits and it opens up? I feel like it's gotten a lot lighter since it's been opened.
Yes, so it'll definitely, as a typical, red wine with that part, it will open up and aerate and get a little more aromatic, but the cherry definitely as well helps to lighten it up. And the chocolate bar, that helps too. So.
The chocolate helps. Okay, moms, we hear you giggling over there. What are you 2 giggling about?
Well, I don't normally like red wine, but I like it with the chocolate. So I will just have to have chocolate whenever I drink red wine.
or red wine every time you have chocolate.
There you go.
It's perfect.
It changed it enough or a lot to me. So we both liked it with the candy.
Yes. With the
Yeah, that was a
chocolate,
good
it made
pairing.
big difference.
Hello to Kathy and Brian and Stephanie and Debbie that are joining us on Facebook. If you all are just joining us now for this virtual wine tasting event and you didn't get a chance to buy the kit, which comes with the 5 different chocolate bars, the 5 different wines, you can go to dcwine.com. It's scrolling down below to get your wine and be able to watch this back on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching it right now, so that you can sip along with us. John, this is a big week in the NFL because the schedule's getting released and a lot of leaks have already been out, including Packers, Rams, Thanksgiving Eve. That's exciting. We want to know from you as a former player, as fans, we immediately want to see what's the first home game, and we check the holiday schedules. What do you do as players? What dates do you guys pay attention to, or is it all kind of the same for you?
Well, we check out little nuances where obviously we want to know about the holidays. I've played on Thanksgiving a bunch. In fact, each of the last 2 years I've called games on Thanksgiving. So I'm so happy that I actually get to cook a turkey this year and don't have to come home to the leftovers and eat those the next day. So you really look around the big time games and nationally televised games when it comes to Christmas or Thanksgiving, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night type games. And then the beginning of the season's always big. If you can get a kickoff game like they have now, they have 2 different kickoff games. That always meant that that the NFL thought you were in for a big year. So it kind of like gave you the litmus test of where your team was heading into the season. Then you start taking a look at what's the rough stretch of the schedule. Where do we have 4 away games out of 6? Where do we have 4 home games out of 6? And where do we have what's perceived to be maybe easier opponents versus maybe a couple really tough opponents in a row? And then you start gearing up what that season's going to look like.
So we know you play Lions, Bears, Vikings every year. You know that's going to happen. What is a team that you would see on the schedule that you would get excited? What was it? The Steelers? I mean, you used to play for the Steelers. Was it the Patriots? Who was a team like that where you thought, oh, this is awesome? And why? Why were you most excited to face that team?
You know, for a long time, I just had a bucket list. I wanted to play in every stadium. So some of the uncommon opponents, meaning teams in the AFC when you're in Green Bay, you only get to play them once every 4 years, which means you only get to play at their stadium once every 8 years. So it wasn't until my next to last year in Green Bay that I actually got to check off my list my last couple of AFC stadiums, which once I checked off every stadium in the league, then I felt like I was complete and I didn't need anybody else on my schedule. But if you're asking me who I really enjoyed playing, I always loved going back to Philadelphia. I always loved going back to Pittsburgh because that's the state I was born in. I knew I was going to have a lot of friends there, a lot of family there, and to get to play in front of them, that meant everything.
That's true. That's really true. And what stadium did you not like playing in, and why?
So for the longest time, I didn't like playing in Minnesota because their old stadium, the Metrodome, it was old and they had really long stairway to climb to the visitors' locker room, which was small and cramped and smelled like mildew. It was not a great place, but the roof caved in. And when the roof
wasn't great either.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it smelled like mildew because they had a leak, but the roof caved in. And I actually started enjoying going to Minnesota when we played at Gopher Stadium and when we started playing at the new stadium there in Minnesota. So now I'd have to say probably the stadium I'd least like to go to. And again, a lot of these places have new stadiums. It was really hard and difficult to go to Candlestick. Now it's not so bad to go to Santa Clara. It's a different vibe, a different crowd, a cleaner, more open environment. So I would say Seattle. Seattle would probably be one of the places I would not want to play today.
Interesting. Love that you're an open book, which everybody watching, hello to Melissa, Amy, Joe, Kathy, who just joined us here on Facebook. Ask any question. John will answer them, whether it's about the wines with Door, Peninsula Winery, or if you want to talk to him about his time in the NFL or life now as a broadcaster. We love that you're willing to answer those questions so honestly. But it's always interesting when the schedule comes out because as fans, wouldn't you agree as fans, we immediately are like, all right, what does this mean for our Christmas? And what does this mean for our Thanksgiving and New Year's Day? I mean, there was a Christmas that we had Christmas early, and it was a Chiefs game, and we were supposed to blow out the Chiefs, and we didn't. And let me tell you, opening gifts after that was not as fun. So we changed it up and said gifts have to happen before the game.
I think when you look at the schedule, the most important thing is how many games they don't have any games internationally. So how many games do they have on Thursday night? How many Monday night games do they have? What you really want is you want the majority of the games to be on Sunday, week over week. And then that way they can get into a rhythm, because at the end of the day, all we really want is for the team to win. Now, here's one for you, Elizabeth. When you look at the schedule, the Packers travel 12,000 miles this year in flights for their games. That's it. Sounds like a lot, but it's not. The San Francisco 49ers will travel 38,000 miles this year for the games, which means for every flight that the Packers take that's 1 hour, San Francisco takes 3 hours in flights. It's a way different animal, and I think the Packers have an advantage on that end this year.
No, for sure.
John, how hard are you mentioned Thursdays and Monday night games from your body recovery standpoint? How hard were the Thursday night games for you?
You get a sense of adrenaline that really makes it like you're not going to feel it. But I would always tell people, when we got into the regular season, I didn't feel normal from the game before until Friday. And and when I mean normal, as in you feel like your normal self again till about Thursday morning is when you wake up and you're like, all right, I feel good enough that I can go out and practice, or I feel good enough that I can go out and play. We just found a way to go out there and practice on Wednesdays when it wasn't convenient and it was sore and it was hard. But really, Thursday night games, you just got to find a way to go out there and let adrenaline drag you through.
Aren't we all going to look at Thursday night games now a little bit differently after hearing that? That's a good question. Thank you for answering that, John. Okay, everybody, if you've got questions or comments, again, you can put it there in the chat. We are going to move on to wine number 3, the cherry daiquiri wine cocktail. So maybe you'd like to order a cherry daiquiri. Now you can get it bottled from Peninsula Winery. Is there a specific glass we should have for this one, Beth and Rob?
So this one, typically you would drink a fruit wine in a white wine glass, but this one you can pretty much drink it in anything. As long as it's chilled, you'll be good to go. This is a newer wine for us. We originally released it as a very limited batch, and then it was super popular, and now we brought it back again. So this is a 100% cherry wine, so sweet cherry wine, and then we added rum flavoring. It's a non-alcoholic rum, and then real lime juice. So that's what makes it a wine cocktail. We're mimicking a daiquiri, but it's 100% wine.
So rum flavor, real lime juice. Want to mention that Teresa Casper said not normally a red wine drinker, but that was delicious. She enjoyed the Peninsula Red. This was a good time to bring out these glasses.
Oh, go Pack, go.
Yay. John, how much Packer memorabilia do you have in your house?
Well, I have quite a bit, and some of it I can break out, and some of it I have hidden in a closet. In my weight room in my gym, because I just have, in 13 years, Elizabeth, I collected so much stuff. I have a helmet that Adrian Peterson wore for the Vikings that he signed for me. I have a helmet that Drew Brees wore for the Saints that he signed for me.
What?
Right? Travis Kelce, the same thing.
Wait a second. Just stop right there.
That Travis Kelce, yes.
I may be a fan. Before Taylor Swift, I might add. I may be a fan.
So, fun fact: when you go to a Pro Bowl, everybody brings more gear. They bring leftover gear, stuff that they've worn that they're never going to wear again. The training staff will give them excess stuff to go, because when you went to back when they played in the game, you would show up with a bunch of stuff because everybody would want to trade memorabilia. And I thought that was one of the coolest traditions at the Pro Bowl was, I'm here trading stuff with Adrian Peterson. What do I have to trade with Adrian Peterson? But I'm giving him Packer stuff. He's giving me Viking stuff. Who would have ever thunk? But, I got this helmet from a guy who's a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer is just sitting in a closet right now. One day, Elizabeth, I'll convince my wife to let me really build that man cave room. We're probably going to need a basement first, but when I do, I got plenty of stuff to fill it up.
That's super
Well,
fun.
if you ever need anybody to hang on to that gear, just let us
Yeah.
play it proudly here.
All right, hello
There's
to
been plenty
Terry.
of offers.
Hello to Terry, who just joined us on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for watching. So this wine, the Cherry Daiquiri Wine Cocktail. Beth, did you make this label?
I did. This was one of mine.
Let's pull it up for everybody to see. And we're going to
I
pair
love this
with the, how do you say this? Lingonberry?
So lingonberry, it is very common in Swedish cooking, which we have a lot of Swedish people up here in Door County, Swedish heritage. So lingonberry, it's a tart berry. Think along the lines of a currant, but not quite. So this is actually my favorite pairing of the evening because it surprised me so much when we tried it.
Well, this wine is delicious.
And the chocolate is bright pink.
Yes. So this is what Stead calls a fruit chocolate. It is basically freeze-dried powdered berries and then mixed with cocoa butter. So there's no actual dairy in this. There's no real chocolate. It's cocoa butter and fruit.
Like a delayed taste of the chocolate. And then all of a sudden it hits.
And it tastes so tart in a good way. What kind of candy are we taking? Try this. Sweet tarts?
That's where you got the tartness from the lime in the cherry daiquiri, so it definitely balances that out to bring the fruit forward again. Once again, when you're doing a pairing, you want to change and enhance the flavors.
Interesting. This is fun.
I don't taste the lime until I drink the wine with the chocolate, and then I taste a lot of lime.
So you're getting tart cherry, tart lingonberry. They're muting each other. And then you're getting the lime to come out and the creaminess in the chocolate.
Eric just said, and then you lick your lips,
Yeah,
so you
and
can really
the lime
taste it.
taste is still there. That's a heck of a point.
To me, this gives me, you said sweetheart, this gives me Starburst.
I like that.
Starburst,
Like
Starburst. Yes,
It's hurtful.
absolutely. Okay, moms, we hear you chatting over there. What are you thinking about this wine? You're not in trouble.
Well, I really like lingonberries, so the tartness, I love tart. I love the tartness that comes out. The lime really comes out with the chocolate and the wine together.
Well, and for people watching right now, this cherry daiquiri wine cocktail, think of when you go to a restaurant and maybe they change up your traditional Moscow Mule type of drink and they make it like a cranberry mule or a cherry mule. This kind of tastes like that. And I think it's a little bit maybe of the lime that's in there. But this is great for warm patio weather, summertime. This is really refreshing. Well done.
Elizabeth, I think this is one of the coolest experiences we have ever had with this pairing because the chocolate has a flavor, the wine has a flavor, and then the two of them together changes both those flavors into something else. You guys were obviously a little bit ahead of me trying the chocolate with the wine. I had no idea. I was like, this isn't that tart. Bam. All of a sudden it hit me and I felt my cheeks puckering in.
You've made John Kuhn's cheeks pucker, you guys. Did you hear that?
Check it off the bucket list.
That's done. By the way, that is the soundbite. Thank you for that. I'm making a note.
Yeah.
38 minutes and 24 seconds because tomorrow on our morning show, which I host the Mix Morning Show, Elizabeth and Radar, the Mix in Milwaukee and the Mix in Madison. You can find us on the Odyssey app. And I was thinking in our 3 must-hear clips of the day, I thought, you know what? We'll get some fun audio from this. We'll talk maybe about John with the NFL season. No, John Kuhn's cheeks puckered. That is the clip. Make it go viral, John.
Yeah, well, I mean, normally I got producers to thank for grabbing all the sound that they can take out of context and make embarrassing, but Elizabeth's that producer tonight.
You know, Aaron Rodgers actually mentioned that when he does any interviews, and I'm curious as a broadcaster what you think about this, and quarterbacks are really a lot of times the face of a team. So they're always getting interviewed. Mics are constantly in their face. Everyone's paparazzi. He will roll tape of his own with every interview he does, which I thought was a very smart thing to do so that no one can take anything out of context. Because as we know, John, in this industry, there are people that will do that, that won't do
Yes.
things that are ethical. I made a quick joke, and I would absolutely not want to ever do anything to embarrass you or make you look bad. That's just not what I would do.
Oh, I was kidding. You can play that all day. I told you.
I know that.
I'm not worried about it.
I appreciate that, but we know there are different media outlets that don't think like that. When you would do interviews as a player, did you feel like you had to protect yourself in that way?
No, but I understand why Aaron went about that, quite frankly, because there were many times when I was playing that we would read things in the news that was clearly not what somebody said or clearly not what was meant by a comment. And a lot of times we would read things about our own teammates specifically having a situation like that. And for us, it was, we knew, we understood. So it was all good in the locker room. Nobody ever took anything the wrong way. But I can understand when you're the quarterback winning multiple MVPs the way that he did, always under the microscope, always with the scrutiny. For nothing else, you would want that safeguard preventing that from happening. And it still did. There was always news circulating and always stuff coming up for Aaron that unfortunately was not quite what it actually was. It was just partial truths. And for him, it was the measure that he took. But, you know, I could only imagine what it would be like to have that type of stardom. I mean, I'm very thankful that you guys are appreciative of my career, but I mean, I roll down to Costco right down the road any day of the week, and I'm perfectly fine walking through there. It's not the same for everybody.
No, it's definitely
a few
not.
Kuhns though as you walk.
I get a couple, and I like that. See, that's the thing too. If I'm missing out on a Kuhn, I'll roll down to Costco and get myself two for free. Get on out of there. Maybe a slice of pizza.
John, what do your kids think? Do they, when they hear Kuhn, are they like, oh, it's dad, or do they lean into it? I mean, they're younger, so they maybe don't even remember you being in the league, or maybe weren't even born then.
Yeah, Elizabeth, one thing that I missed out on from my playing days, because my wife and I, we waited to have kids. We took vacations, and she worked for a while after we got married, so the timing wasn't right. I really wish my kids would have had an opportunity to see me play and remember it and experience it. So that's kind of a bummer. But what's really fun is the fact that they don't know, and well, I mean, they know, but they didn't experience it, which means their friends didn't experience it. For example, I went out to the draft and got to make a couple picks, and man, the boys in my youngest daughter's class, they just knew me as Mr. Kuhn. And then coming out after the draft, they were like, wait, your dad played football and he played for the Packers? And then, you know, so there's that little bit of excitement that comes with them not knowing as well.
For sure.
Well, John, speaking of Aaron and your post-playing days, I know I'm not going to ask you if he's coming back or anything like that. Was it hard for you to retire? Like, did you know that you were done, or did you have a moment of like, man, should I come back? Should I come back? Like, what was the thought process as you decided to finally hang him up?
So I took the approach, and I talked this through with my wife in pretty good detail, because the last couple of years of my career, I started getting some injuries, and the injuries are harder on the wife, I think, than they are on the player, because they got to do so much more. They got to chip in so much more at home and do kind of the heavy lifting there, and even help me out personally. I said to her, I'll roll this till the wheels fall off. And she loved the ride, and I loved the ride. So we just took it as, we're going to play as long as the NFL is going to have us. It's a part-time job. You can't really do it into your 40s. Now, I know Aaron is, but you can't really do it into your 40s. It's a part-time job. Let's see how many we can stack on top of themselves in terms of years. And I remember 2018, I was in shape. I could have played another year. I know I would have been a very, very good starter in the NFL. I had a couple teams call. They didn't feel like the right fit, and it just didn't seem right. I was waiting, because I just finished my career with New Orleans. If they brought me back, I would have gone, because they were very good. They went to the NFC Championship game. Never happened. So after that season was over, the Packers were kind of luring me into this media role from about 2016 to 2019. Finally, in 2019, I said, okay, let's do this. Let's sign. I'll retire. I'll officially retire a Packer. We'll make a media deal about it, and then we'll go on our way.
Well, we're so glad you did. And we love that you're now on the part of the media side and the broadcasting side. The show is 9 to noon with Kuhn on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. And you get to do fun things like this, like drink wine with chocolate. We love it.
This is a little, I'm not going to lie, this is a little bit easier and a lot more fun than being an off-season training camp. I'm not going to lie.
Not too many hard questions for you. Okay, everybody, if you've got questions or comments, please put them in the chat, what you thought about the Cherry Daiquiri wine cocktail. 2 more wines to get to in our virtual wine tasting event. Maybe some of you bought this for your mom. We're calling it the Mother's Day virtual wine tasting event. So, John, you mentioned your wife, who's an incredible support system, and the mother of your kids. Cheers to her. Cheers to Connie and Jennifer, all the moms that are watching. My own mom, I want her to be a part in this, but she's a go-getter, and she's on a vacation. She's on a trip. She's like, I can't. I'm on a trip. Okay, well, I understand. But to all the moms that are watching, cheers to you. And while Eric, my bartender, is getting the next wine going, I have to mention that Teresa said they're drinking the wine out of Vikings glasses.
Ooh. Yeah.
They're in the suburbs of Minneapolis, but they said they're happy to say Kuhn.
Thank you, Teresa. I will mention this chocolate is from Minnesota, and I don't like to give a lot of compliments out, but this chocolate's fantastic.
Isn't it? It's really, really good. Okay, this is the
really
Harvest Peach.
My favorite. It's the best one they
This
got.
is Eric's favorite
for you, Eric.
wine of all time is the Harvest Peach. Beth and Rob up there at the winery, Indoor Peninsula Winery. I say up there because we're in Waukesha, so you guys are up there where I'm watching you. What is your best-selling wine? And does it change with the seasons?
A little. So our number one out of everything is our Blackberry Merlot. We've done that
is a
before
good wine.
in pairings like this. It has never really left our top 5 since we released it over 20 years ago, but it's not always number 1. But what we've experienced, and I feel like a lot of people are experiencing this, is, you know, when things are a little uncertain, which is all I'll really say about that, people like to return to comfort. They like to return to old favorites. So that we've seen a resurgence of people coming back to Blackberry Merlot and being like, you know, I always loved this wine, and just buying a couple extra bottles of that one. So Blackberry Merlot is our absolute number 1.
There is one coming up that is actually in our top 5, and it has been number 1 a couple times. So.
Ooh, that's a good teaser. Okay.
Okay.
Harvest Peach. Now, some of these wines we have chilled. Some of them are just room temperature. If someone wants to chill one versus not, does it matter? Does it ruin the wine if they want to drink it a different way?
Not at all. We prefer you drink whichever wine however you most like it. Like, some people like to put ice cubes in their red wine. Some people like to drink their white wine room temperature. Even some of our mulled wines, which are meant to be heated, we've had customers who are like, I love to chill this wine. And that's perfectly fine. We want you to enjoy the wine however you want to enjoy it. We actually, for a long time, kind of shied away from pairings. Pairings are fun. We love doing pairings. But I feel like when you do a pairing, there's pressure to kind of find something to make a wine you don't enjoy better. And if you don't enjoy the wine to begin with at all, then you're not going to enjoy it in a pairing. Even though it may change, you may recognize it changed, but we'd rather have you drink wine that you like and then find new fun things to do with it.
Right. If you only like white wine, drink that with red meat. That's fine. If you only like red wine, drink it with chicken and fish. That's fine.
You do you.
No wine shaming.
Exactly.
No wine shaming. Well, want to also raise our glasses. Let's raise our glasses to Anthony. Anthony's enjoying this while they are celebrating their 26th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
All right. The chocolate, the name itself, caramel crack.
Caramel crack.
Milk chocolate.
So Harvest Peach is obviously 100% peach juice made into wine, which makes it a very light, very floral, sweet fruit wine. Honestly, using a caramel bar with this one is a little bit cheating, because caramel is going to taste fantastic with any lighter, sweet fruit or white wine. So as long as you're not trying it something tart, you're going to find fun flavors in there. So you have like a Moscato or like an apple wine, or, you know, something on that spectrum where it's like a sweet, white-ish wine.
Like the wine.
Caramel's going to taste fantastic.
I like the peach during the
Oh,
summer.
this is really great with the chocolate. Moms, let's go to the mommy cam. Okay,
Mm.
moms, we've gone through 4 wines so far. Connie, who's Rob's mom. Connie, which wine has been your favorite so far?
Number 1.
The Radiant.
The
You
Radiant
like the
was-
spark? Why? Because of the bubbles?
Perhaps, and I also like white wine more than red. I'm not sure, but
Mhm.
so far that was my favorite. Second would have been the cherry daiquiri.
Excellent. Jennifer, what about you?
Well, I kind of like them all.
Good answer. Good answer.
It's great that your kids work at a winery. And for people that maybe don't know, Beth and Rob are married. They met at the winery, got married. What has it been, 2 years since you
2
got
years
married?
almost.
2 years.
Just about
Almost.
2 years.
Yeah.
He gave me
And
that.
was Door Peninsula wine served at the wedding?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. This was really good with the chocolate.
It's really good by itself, but sure, the chocolate, it's also good.
I'm just eating
Chocolate's
every
really
chocolate
good by
bar.
itself.
All right, let's say hello to Valerie and Jim, who just joined us on Facebook. Appreciate you all watching us. Harvest Peach, I feel for us in our house, this is more of a dessert wine for us. This is the wine that we'll bring out when friends are over. We love being out on the patio. This is our hot tub wine. We have a hot tub, and so it's like, get some Harvest Peach. Let's enjoy that.
There's no bad place to enjoy it.
Definitely a summer
Yeah.
wine. I don't want to call it a patio pounder, but
Yeah, you do.
I do. It fits that.
Also, Harvest Peach, because it is so bright and so peachy, makes a great base for a white sangria or a spritzer. You know, if you're going to add something like a little sparkling, like a club soda or lemon lime soda, something to it, it makes a wonderful base because that peach flavor just comes out more.
Well, and think about upcoming baby showers, wedding showers, and things. You talk about having, some of the cocktails and things like that you're going to have. I love that you brought that up. You could put a little bit of fruit in this. Yeah, that could be really fun too. Fantastic. Well done. All right, everybody, if you've got anything to say about this wine, we are looking here for your comments, your questions. A lot of people are saying happy anniversary to Anthony. We love that. That's so sweet that everyone's saying happy anniversary. And Connie and Jennifer, so when you had your kids working at Door Peninsula Winery, and then you found out that they met someone at work, did you think, whoa, don't mix business with pleasure? Or were one of you saying, I saw it coming a mile away? Connie?
I'm going to
Connie
say
has things
it's
to
coming a mile away.
And I
Really?
I said, take it slow. Give it some time.
Rob's,
Give it a couple more glasses of wine before you decide.
Rob's baby sister pegged it right away.
Wait, what was that?
Robert's baby sister pegged it right away.
That there's a girl at work. Yes. I think it's really cool. It's really great. And to have your moms here today. Also, Beth pointed out that Beth has a white cardigan on and Rob's mom has a white cardigan on and Rob's wearing blue gray. And we have Beth's mom, Jennifer, wearing the blue gray. So we kind of coordinate. Was it on purpose?
Nope.
No, we all just showed up like this.
Not at all.
All right, we've got a comment here from Teresa. Teresa says, I brought the peach wine home with me when I was at the winery several years ago. So happy to have another bottle. Well, Teresa, you can get even more bottles shipped to you if you buy from dcwine.com. And Beth and Rob, is there still free shipping on a case?
Always free shipping on a case.
As long as we're able, we'll keep free shipping on a case going. So that's any 12 bottles, mix and match that you order, you can get that shipped to your house for free. You have to sign for it because it is alcohol, so someone needs to be home, but we will ship that case to you.
Yep. Sign up for our newsletter and follow us on Facebook. We do run sales as well all throughout the year, so you can get bonus sales and savings beyond the free shipping.
Right. And if you just want to order another one of these kits because you enjoyed these wines so much, we're going to have the kit available for a while after this tasting so that other people can join in on the fun.
I love that you guys still do that. And hello to Candace that's joining us, Michelle that's joining us on Facebook. Okay, let's jump to the Blood Orange Buzz, another chilled wine. Want to also say that Teresa, while we're getting the wine set here, has a question. What entrees do you pair sweet wines with? So an entree that you would pair with the Harvest Peak? What would you all suggest? And maybe everybody cleanse your palate a little bit too right now while we set up for the next wine.
Sweet wines go very well with spicy and then things that are salty. So if you
Mexican food,
Mexican, Indian, like
Spicy
curry, sweet wines are going to go with all of that. And then if you have something on the salty side, like even like, you know, like fried chicken with a really good breading, like sweet wines are going to go with that. Like you want that kind of salt to balance out the sweet.
interesting. Great question, Teresa. Thank you so much. John, I just see you in your dining room area, just bottle after bottle setting up. Watch your equipment there with all
Where's your wife?
with all of the wines.
Yeah, always got to be safe. What I've noticed though is Lindsay has peeked her head in here from time. The first wine or two, I had to text her. Okay, next one's up. She's been peeking around the corner for the next one now since we just
Lindsay, we
finished
want to
this
see
last
you.
one.
I see you.
When she comes in, I'll have her step in and wave hi to everybody.
There we go.
Is she one of those that would prefer to be behind the scenes? You are a public
Oh,
figure,
yeah.
or is
Oh, she's a behind the scenes type of girl. Obviously, Eric loves to be out and about and show his beautiful face.
Oh,
And,
I don't know about that. I drag him into this because even at our house, he's the bartender. He's always the one behind the bar.
Poor guy.
Well, when you're married to Miss Front and Center, you just kind of gotta, you know.
He's a good sport. He's the one that understands the setup that goes into this. It's like lights, camera, action. Don't touch anything. This has been set up down here for 2 hours. I'm like, don't log into anything. Wi-Fi has to work. Don't touch the lights. They're perfect. All right. So now, Rob, you mentioned earlier, we asked you about best-selling wines, and you said it kind of changes seasonally. Which wine that we've had, and is it this one, the Blood Orange Buzz?
It is the Blood Orange Buzz. It is a mead, so one of the oldest alcohols in the world. Meads, they're honey-based. We released this 2 years ago. Well, that year we released it in May, and it became our best seller for the year. For the whole year, it missed the first 5-6 months of sales up here. It was our #1 seller. Now it has dropped back down to about number 2 or 3. So it's gotten overtaken back by Blackberry Merlot, but it's definitely been in our top sellers.
The year we released this wine, we ran out of that style glass bottle.
Yeah.
Which we order many months in advance with a good cushion. We ran out. We had to call our suppliers and be like, can you please send us more glass because we are out and we need to bottle more mead.
It was you all, Beth and Rob. You were sweet enough to send a little holiday gift package a couple years ago, and it had the mead wine in it. I love honey, and I thought, mead wine, honey wine, what is this? Ever since then, I have been such a fan. I highly recommend everybody watching. Honey wine is just the perfect amount of sweetness. Not really tart, but it's not too sweet, but it's a taste I've never had before until experiencing your mead wine. I also learned the reason why vacations that couples take after they get married are called the honeymoon is because back in the day, it was a tradition to give them mead wine because mead wine could lead to little babies.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's called the honeymoon.
That is true. They would give mead.
She wants to wave hi real quick because she's enjoying it so much.
Happy belated Mother's Day.
They said Happy Mother's Day.
So the more you know, but everyone get to Door Peninsula Winery, go to dcwine.com and order yourself some mead wine or this Blood Orange Buzz. I love this. Okay, everybody, what do y'all think? Moms, what do you think about the Blood Orange Buzz?
Your turn.
Well, the Blood Orange Buzz is good, but I really, of all the meads that they make, I like the blackberry citrus the best. But this is a good one, and it's very, very popular.
So yeah, the blood orange, obviously that is our mead, but we're adding blood orange juice to it. So that's the blood orange, the citrus you're getting out of it. We have been told that it is very much high C orange from McDonald's vibes, and I support that fully. Like, it's got that flavor when you're really thinking about it. But this pairing, this is the only dark chocolate bar that we have in the pairing tonight, which normally you would avoid dark chocolate with super sweet because it would be the bitter tannin in the dark chocolate would come out even more bitter. But up against the mead, it really stands up And because it is a spiced orange, you're getting double orange, just like we did with the cherry, where it's double cherry. And you're getting those little spicy notes through. Now, there's also pecan in the bar, which adds to that little bit of tannin bitter. So that is kind of mellowing out with the honey. You're getting that nutty paired with the honey. You're getting orange on orange, and then a little bit of spice.
What would you pair this wine with for food?
Oh gosh. So meads, the fun thing about meads is that they are incredibly versatile. You can make a mead taste almost like anything. Like meads kind of cross over between the wine and the beer world. Like there are hopped meads out there. There's all kinds of stuff. So
we just released a bourbon barrel aged mead.
We did.
Yeah.
So
what?
Here.
Now we're talking.
Eric, bourbon.
Bourbon and mead. I'm in.
Just about a week ago.
So because you have that honey tone, it's not just the sweet wine. You have that richer, full flavor from the honey. So it's going to pair with a lot of things.
John, what do you think?
I think it's really darn good. I love the honey like back end of this. I think that really brings the full flavor out in it. But with the chocolate, the first thing I noticed was, oh, this is the first dark. I'm a dark chocolate lover.
Yeah.
And it did not make the dark chocolate. And sometimes when you drink wine with dark chocolate, it can make it taste a little sour. It did not. This was a perfect pairing.
This is the orange spice dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Just like before, I finished every candy bar. It's chocolate. But look at these cute little candy bars. You can get these at Door Peninsula Winery. I really can tell. This is so thoughtful what you all did with the pairing. You put a lot of time into these pairings. You can tell Beth and Rob.
We did.
Look at the moms. Look at the moms. They're going crazy.
They're going
more. I love it. I love it.
So yeah, we worked with Stead. They were kind enough to get us some samples, which we've been purchasing their bars for a while, just for retail and for our own pairings in house. But they got us some samples. They have a lot of flavors. They have a golden milk bar that has a lot of turmeric in it that I'm a big fan of.
So
there was a lot of trial and error.
But yeah, these pairings are a lot of fun to do.
I think we're about a half hour away from the moms taking over. They are doing some stuff down there. I love it.
Well, the moms are being responsible. They have rides home, so they're being responsible. But they're going back for more. Wait, what, Connie? What are you pouring now?
My favorite.
Is that the no? That's the cherry daiquiri.
He's having the cherry daiquiri.
You know what? Good for you, moms. Well, that wraps up our virtual wine tasting event here for Mother's Day. Thanks to everyone that bought their wine kits. We had so many people that were just watching throughout. If you want to get this wine kit and watch this back on YouTube, on Facebook, go to dcwine.com. You can see it there on their homepage. You can get the 5 bottles sent to you. Make sure someone's home to sign for it. Like Beth mentioned, you get the 5 candy bars there. Want to mention here, we've got Mitch that just said, we got this wine tasting for my mom. He said, me and my 4 sisters, and we love the wine. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We hope to do more of these. John, thank you in your busy schedule for joining us as well. Beth and Rob, putting this all together. Can you give us a teaser? Anything coming up? Do you want to tease a sale, maybe a virtual tasting coming up? What should people be paying attention to when it comes to Door Peninsula Winery in the next few weeks?
Well, next few weeks, obviously, we'll be opening up, changing over our menus for summer, opening our outdoor space. We'll have some fun new cocktails on the distillery side, some of which include wine. But this is always the season where we release new wine.
Right.
So we have one out already on the floor here, which you'll see in wholesale shortly, and that is called Cherry Zing. It's a cherry Riesling. So that one is very good. And then we have another one that's coming out probably next week.
Next week, yep. And it's kind of a remake of an old favorite. So it is one of our wines we currently have, Razzle Dazzle Raspberry, but it will be a sparkling version.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
Carbonated Razzle Dazzle Raspberry.
Yeah, and then there'll be, of course, always a few exclusives that we have here for the winery because we do very small batches.
Like the bourbon mead.
Like the bourbon mead that we already talked about. We just bottled a Brianna, which is another local French hybrid grape from up here. And we'll be releasing another red called Petite Pearl very shortly. So
again, why this is exactly why you need to follow Door Peninsula Winery on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, to get all those updates and be notified when we do another virtual wine tasting event. So glad everybody could join from all over the country. TJ said, great fun. Thank you. Thanks to everyone that watched. John, any final words?
I can't wait until this summer, and I kind of feel like we need to do it in person with everybody, Elizabeth.
Yeah, on the patio. That would be great. That would be fun too. Appreciate it. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and drive safe if you are leaving wherever you are at the moment. Moms, we know you have Beth and Rob to take you home. One final toast to all of the moms. We couldn't do this life without you all. Thanks for everything you do for your families, your community. We appreciate you. We love you. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Cheers, and thanks for watching.
Cheers.